Hey guys, Al here, Vitalized Seed. I hope y'all are doing well. I wanted to do a video that I hope is not overly controversial, but I'm sure it will be taken that way by some. But I want to be very realistic about this video. And in this video, I want to talk about tillage versus no-till in general, kind of, across the board if we look at it. And tillage works. I want to just stop there and pause for a second, because I think there's this often you'll see, comparative videos, and I myself have done this, when we compare on the surface 1 year. Hey, look, I did tillage versus no-till, and the tillage outperformed. We know that that's going to happen. 9 times out of 10, in year 1, and maybe 2 or 3, tillage, then following, if we're just looking at growth, is going to outperform. And the reason that is because we're giving the organic matter a ton of oxygen, which is going to drive organic matter mineralization, which is going to be a whole lot of nutrients. The question comes to the sustainability of that action without needing additional inputs. So the goal of no-till and the soil health movement, and why it has been started by farmers, David Brandt, no-till in the 1970s, using cover crops, 1970s, rest in peace to David, who passed away last year. But, he was doing these things in the 70s. Well, why? Well, because he started to figure out, man, I just cannot sustain this major tilling, putting more and more fertilizer to drive yields. I got to figure out how to naturally do this. I have to stop erosion. I need to increase organic matter, not decrease it. And you're not going to ever increase organic matter with tillage. You just simply aren't going to do it. It would be like trying to grow a fire bigger without ever adding any amendments or any more wood to that fire, but adding oxygen. You might see a quick burst of flame, but that fire is not going to be sustained. Another way of looking at this is the healthy aspect. So to give you an analogy, I could sit down and say, hey, look, I had a cheeseburger, I'm full, right? That's the tillage side of things. Look, I tilled and my soil looks great. My crop looks great. But what is the health of that crop? What's the nutrient density of that crop? What's the microbial systems in that soil doing to feed that crop? That's where no-till in the system over time benefits the crop, the soil structure, the microbial structure, the carbon sequestration, the water cycle, etc., through water infiltration and bettering our overall nutrient density of the crops. However, we can have a lot of no-till systems that are really poorly managed. That's why at Vitalized Seed we went with a 1-2 system, right? We wanted to simplify what a lot of folks, what I had seen a lot of folks struggling with, which that was understanding subsequent plantings. So all of that to say is, yes, guys, tillage works. And in some cases, I still think there's areas where rotational tillage makes sense for a particular grower or farmer, or maybe they have to use a big steel ripper once in a great while because there's a major compaction area and a degraded soil, or what have you, right? There's so many variabilities and stuff. So this is not a blanket statement across never use tillage or only go no-till or whatnot. Obviously, every grower and farmer, we need to understand what those parameters are. But I do want to explain, to summarize, that if we're just looking at a comparative analysis of tillage versus no-till, we have 7,000 years, I think it is the number thrown around, where people have been using tillage successfully. The question is duration. For how long can you do it on that piece of land without having to increase inputs or having that land be degraded? And that's why soil health and no-till systems are important and something that you should consider. If you like this type of stuff, guys, check us out at vitalizedseed.com. We really appreciate all the followers, and I'd love to answer any questions that you have. And thanks for tuning in and watching. Take care. Be safe.